Hello everyone, and welcome back to video number 5 in our Title IX website series. We've talked about different ways universities almost hide the contact information of their Title IX coordinator. So let me give you another example. Again, I went through over 2,000 websites. So these examples are from schools where it happened more than once. In other words, I found multiple examples of these different methods or these different types of websites. So these are things that aren't just one school here or one school there. Multiple schools were doing the same thing. And that's why I'm bringing it up, because it's a large problem. It's prevalent. This one was with mostly smaller schools, schools that couldn't necessarily afford or didn't need to have a full-time Title IX coordinator. They didn't have the caseload, or they just don't have the budget to pay the salary of a full-time Title IX coordinator. That's totally understandable. Many schools you can get by with having it be an alternative duty for someone else. A lot of times it's the dean of students, or a vice president of academic affairs, or of student wellness, or whatever you call it at your school. So these are mostly smaller schools, smaller budgets, and that's okay, I understand that. The problem was that on their Title IX page, and usually the other two problems existed as well, it was either in a PDF or it was hidden in this long body of text. They would say, our Title IX coordinator is our vice president of academic affairs, and that's it. So clearly, it was a compliance issue. This website was built solely to comply with Title IX regulations. They had to have a Title IX coordinator, and they had to name who that was. And so on the Title IX website, all it said was which position was considered their Title IX coordinator. But they never said who that was. Why is it so difficult to say the Title IX coordinator is our vice president of academic affairs, who is John Smith? You can contact John Smith at this number, this email address, at this location. So what you had to do is then go to, hopefully there was a directory, and some schools had one, most didn't. You had to do a completely new search to find the organizational chart to figure out who the vice president of academic affairs is. And then if it's on an org chart, those don't have contact information, so then you have to somehow find contact information, either on the website or through Google searches. So it wasn't just that by doing that you made it difficult to find. In those cases, just the way those schools worked and their websites worked, it was even difficult to find the name of the person who was named, that vice president. Again, we're dealing with someone, our student is coming to your webpage in a state of trauma. Something bad just happened. They aren't capable of doing a research project to figure out who the vice president is. So what are you communicating there? One, that all you care about is compliance and regulations. You don't actually care about doing the job. Two, you don't really want students to know who it is because that person can't be bothered. He's a vice president, she's a vice president, she's too busy, too important with academic affairs business. They don't really want to mess with your Title IX stuff. That's what you're communicating. If you are a school that needs to have double duty, list their name and contact information in both places on your website. Because they filled 2 roles, they can be listed in 2 different locations. There is nothing wrong with that. That is, in fact, the way it should be done. And there were schools that did that very clearly. Human Resources Director is also the Title IX coordinator, and their information was on both pages. And sometimes they even had 2 email addresses, one for their Title IX duties and one for their Human Resources duties, which made it really easy to know that they cared enough to separate out their emails so that they could focus on whatever job they were doing at the time. All right, that is lesson or video number 5. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back with our next tip in video number 6.